Someone stated the other day that I don't like the military, people in the military. This is not true. It's not true at all. I don't like corruption. My struggle is with corruption. Why do you think I designed Invisibility and the drones that aid aircraft, submarines, and boats? Why design the command centers for the drones to find the rebels, terrorists, people that wish to do harm? I did these things to protect and stop lives lost. Good people in the military trying to help them. It's very difficult to go through some of the things that people go through in life for everyone. But in the future, this will all mean something. We'll all remember our past, all of our past lives. And it's going to be a way to move forward into heaven, to understand what kind of privileges we have there. We had to build everything. I know people want it to be, everything to be at a snap of the finger, creation, just like that. It's more in depth than that. It's much more in depth. I thought I'd talk about some of the designs I came up with when I was very young. Specifically the invisibility. For some, I've noticed it's hard to visualize invisibility the way I've designed it, the way it works. So I'm going to try to explain it right now. What you're going to do, I know this is going to be hard to believe, but I designed this before there were like the thin TVs, flat screens, you know, when the TV started getting thinner. This was my idea. It was part of the plan to make invisibility when I actually thought of this. I was watching Star Trek, and the Klingons have a cloaking ship. And I said to my brother, I could do that. I could figure out a way to make a ship invisible. He said to me, no, you can't. And I said, well, I think I even said I could do it in a minute. And that's when I came up with the idea. Using screens and cameras to make what would be in between them invisible. So I'm going to try to explain on a jet, on a craft. So the idea of this is, say the jet's flying through the air and it wants to not be seen by the enemy, or you know, it wants to be camouflaged, be stealth. So what I was thinking when I created this is that the panels of the exterior of the plane would all be covered in, as thin as possible, screen using gases or plasma or small lights, increasing the pixel of the screen to as much as possible. Then, once you have the entire plane covered in screens, all sides, everything, as part of the exterior shell of the craft, you can put a hardened plastic over the screens. There's many options you can do to make it sound. Obviously, we would want to be white, of course. But what you do is you'll put cameras at the edges of each screen where they're connected. Then, on one side of the plane and the other, both sides have cameras, both sides have screens. You would have this camera over here going this way, and this camera going this way to collect the images they see. This camera would display on this screen here on this side of the plane. The other camera would display on this side of the plane. And it would go like this, in that fashion, all the way around the plane. Everything. Now, you have to adjust the focus on what the cameras are seeing so it can trick the eye. So if you're looking up in the sky, you're going to see clouds. It's just going to look exactly like you would be looking up at the sky. The plane's going to blend into the sky. I thought about doing this for, forts. They use tarps and things like this. If you just put a screen system, a monitor, a TV, however you want to say it, over the camp, then you can display trees. You can have a cloaking system for the body with smaller screens, or as I was originally thinking, make a curvature screen or screens that can bend. Then you put this on a rope. The person can then turn invisible. Use the same method. If you take an iPhone and you put them both on FaceTime, and you put them back to back, and you have the cameras looking out, you can make it to where whatever's in between is not seen because the phones are actually covering it. But the cameras and the screen show what is on the other side. So you get an effect of invisibility. Now, this can be done on all types of things. When I thought of AI learning and I was trying to figure out how to make a living robot, I thought of skin, and I thought this would be a great skin for the robot. It can produce any image on the robot. You can have touch screen, and that way you can put in a type of a nervous system where it has sense. There's a lot to making the robots. But they basically would work the same way that humans work. I'll get into that in another video. I'll explain my ideas on making the metal man, which they're already producing. But nobody knows that that was my idea also. Or very few people, let's put it that way, it seems. The invisibility, yeah, it works. There's no doubt. The drones I was talking about that work with the jets, subs, all kinds of things. I've seen them on the news now. They're definitely coming out. I wonder how many billions of dollars are spent on this idea to make all these drones to protect these jets, military jets, and everything else. Obviously, this is why they don't want me to be part of this. Because I'm the one developing all this. Nobody knows. Notice how they never say who came up with making those two ideas I've just listed. They just said that a company is producing it. They never say who's coming up with these ideas. You think if somebody came up with these ideas, they would want to be known. Why don't they want to be known? Because it's me, and they're stealing. They don't want to give me credit for trying to help everyone. Just like they want to try to make me look bad. It's hard for me to understand why some people would be this way. I don't understand greed like that. I don't even do this for the money, as I said. I just want people to know the truth. Why would we want liars acting like they're in charge? It's silly. So, these drones, they're going to save the pilot's life. They're going to save the boats. They're going to take the attack instead of losing a pilot or a ship taking a torpedo. It's almost like the minefields they used to put out for the boats, the naval ships, when they were parked. But the drones now, that go out into the water, they would act like a minefield in a way. But if they see a torpedo coming, they could move towards the torpedo, increasing the percentage of taking the hit. There's also other drones that could refuel these drones as they go out. There could be lines of power going to the drones. There's many possibilities. But the overall idea of why I came up with this is to save lives of military. So to say that I don't care about the military makes no sense. This is the exact reason I came up with these ideas, to save lives. That was the only thing on my mind. Not to win a war. No. To save lives. To save people. Things I say are to expose the truth. I don't want anybody to be hurt. I want everybody to be happy. Sometimes you have to say things to get people to start to listen. Obviously, look what's happening. Here we are. There's so much that I'm going to say about the designs they stole from. I'm going to try to detail more over the next few weeks. Give in-depth ideas that have been stolen from you so people can make up their own mind. Maybe we'll talk about how I thought of creating diamonds from coal at a much faster rate when I was in elementary school. And then not long after, the idea was being used. Sure, a very lucrative design. Corruption has to be stopped. Look at the man that was killed by the police today as they broke his neck. I mean, what was his hand in his pocket for? Odd place to have your hand. I mean, did he enjoy himself a little too much there? Huh. Breaking his neck in the middle of the street. And you tell me it's not happening? Oh, it's happening. People are just getting killed. How long is this going to go on? Things are going to change. The truth's going to be exposed. I'm going to make the craft, make heaven, make a planet for everyone of their own, fix the line of time, produce the original earth, and give so many more blessings to people that have had hard lives learning so they can be ready for what will happen for us all.